Here, Nachiketas asked a third boon, which is very much relevant, and that being the subject matter of this Upanishad. Nachiketas asked Lord Death, "O Yama, you are the right person to give me the answer that many of the people in the world, they argue or they say that there is a life for the individual being after departing from the body. And a few others says that. They say there is no afterlife after departing from the body. A disagreement between two groups, and I am listening from both of them. I don't know what is exactly the right position. I would like to know from your mouth, from your words. And Nachiketas asked as a boon this question. May you please answer me? May you please make me understand? Is there any afterlife for an individual living being after departing from the body? I mean, after the death. Now, the answer for that question is being directly given by the Lord Death, which we are going to see right now. Two connections for this verse. We already gone through previous verses regarding the matter, the name called Om. Om is a designation, a name for a thing. Namam. In Sanskrit, name, Namam. Namam will be always connected with the designator, a person or an individual thing. When we say matchbox, the words, the letters will make a word, and the word will be pointing one particular thing in the universe. When I say a dog, directly a picture of the dog will be appearing in one's mind, those who listen. So always a word will be connected with a particular thing or a respected thing. That is why Kalidasa, a well-famed poet in the ancient India, he prayed to Lord Shiva and Parvati in a prayer, very beautiful. Vagarta iva sampraktau vagarta prathipattaye jagatat pitarau vande Parvati parameshwarau. That first sentence we need as an example now. Vak and Artham. Vak means the name and the connected thing is Artham. They always go together. They never get separated. The name and the respective thing. Vak and Artham. The word and the thing. That is why when we listen somebody's words, that thing will come inside our mind. For example, even though we didn't go to UK, when somebody says about UK or some other places in UK, some places will come inside our mind. That connection, the name and the thing will be they will go always together. Vak artha iva sampraktau. Sampriktam. They are not separate. Together. Parvati and Parameshwara. The Brahman and its power which is visible. Maya. Similarly, now coming to the point, I already mentioned you the last 3 verses, which it talks about the particular syllable called Om. Now, the Lord Yama introduces the Om will be represented for whom? Through Om, where we will reach. That thing is being introduced by Lord Yama. Or this verse can be connected like this also. Nachiketas asked for a thing or a question, whether we have an afterlife after the death. Departing from the body, is there any life for the individual living being? We can say for the time being, the individual self or the individual soul. Soul is not a correct word in Vedanta. For the time being, to convey the sense, we will use the word soul. Whether the individual soul have a life after departing from the body. That question is answered directly by Lord Death through this verse. What is the verse? I will read once. Na jayate mriyate va vipaschit nayam kutaschit na babhuva kaschit ajo nitya shashvatoyam puranaha na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Once more I will read. Kaṭha Upaniṣad, 2nd chapter, 18th shloka. Remember, these Kaṭha Upaniṣad books are available from different presses of India. There are a lot of people printing Kaṭha Upaniṣad, and authentic books are available from Gita Press, Gorakhpur, some other ashrams from Varanasi, maybe in Chinmaya Mission, whatever it may be. Please, may you collect a book and keep with you. When I read this slogan, you also go along with me, because chances will never come every day. Once in our life, we get a chance to study Kaṭha Upaniṣad or to touch the Kaṭha Upaniṣad book. So, if you are a neighbor for me, I may have provided for you. Because you are away from me, I can only tell the ways how to collect a book, Kaṭha Upaniṣad book. So please, and also it may be available maybe in the Google or whatever it may be. I never gone through that. I just know Gita Press Gorakhpur. It's available with Hindi meaning and also Sanskrit Shankara's commentary. Some other press, like from Varanasi, we get a Hindi meaning, or in Chinmaya Mission, you will get English meaning, whatever it may be. So please keep that book along with you so that you can also come along with me. If you don't have, no problem, just listen to me. I'm giving the meaning in a simpler way. Don't worry about that. I will read this shloka once more. Na jayate mriyate va vipaschit nayam kutaschit na babhuva kaschit acho nitya shashvatoyam puranaha na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Okay. Now I will give the meaning of this shlokan according to the Shankara's commentary. This same verse is being told by Lord Krishna in the 2nd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, 20th verse, 20th shloka. In the 2nd chapter, of Bhagavad Gita. If you look into the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the 20th verse will be the same verse. Na jayate mriyate va katachit nayam bhutva bhavita va na bhuyaha acho nitya shashvatoyam puranaha na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Slight difference is there, but almost the meaning will be same when we see both shlokas. This meaning is talking about the features of the individual who is residing inside the body of a human being or any other living being. When I say human being, particularly, no other living being in the world go through books and study Shastras. A dog will not be provided a book because it cannot read. No other living being in the world will not have a guru, or no other living being will not listen to the guru, and they will not understand what is the real nature of a human, one's own body. So I always say, if I say human being means, it doesn't mean that human being, entire living being is centered on one mass consciousness. But for the time being, for the sake of understanding, I will come in a method how the gurus delivered this teaching. Nachiketas asked about a particular thing, and the Lord is explaining that particular thing. His direct question was whether there is a life after the death of the body. Yama Dharma, Lord Yama, answer that question, and also it is the answer of the thing which is represented by the Om, the syllable. What is being represented by the Om, that is also been answered. So keep these two questions inside the mind and you listen this answer. Na jayate na mriyate. We know that whatever comes into existence in this material world in a particular date, which is called the date of birth, from there onwards, it will be growing, and getting decaying, and at last the health deteriorated and it will pass. There will be a date of birth, and after a period of time, there will be a date of death. With respect to the body, here Lord Death says, the consciousness which remains inside the body and also outside the body, what we call individual self, which is also named as Brahman, never subject to death or birth. Na jayate. It is not subject to birth. Why? Something which is eternal will not come to an existence on a particular day. That is why this consciousness is nityam, eternal, ever present, if I can say in another word. Something which is ever present and which is not subject to any modifications or any transformations will be the same even though the body get transformed or modified. With respect to the body, When we see the changes in the body, we may ask the question, the consciousness which is pervading inside the body, residing inside the body, will this consciousness will also get transformed or modified? That is why Lord Death said, this consciousness which is residing inside the body is not subject to birth or death. But when I say it is residing inside the body means I know only the consciousness after the birth of the body. We are going to answer for those questions, okay, in the way. Just assimilate the answer or just assimilate the meaning of these words. We cannot eat everything all together. There is a systematic way to understand. Just understand this individual soul which is residing inside the body is not subject to death or birth. Na jayate, na mriyate. And an extraordinary feature is being shown for that individual soul. We know that I am not an all-knowing human being. I don't have the idea about fashion designing. I am not a good I'm not having a good handwriting. I don't draw any pictures. I have a lot of limitations. I don't know anything about the medicine field. Everybody is subject to limitations. We may be adept or capable or master in certain things, for cooking, for dancing, or communicating. We may be adept. We may be elegant in certain things, but we may be weak in certain other things. Some people are very short-tempered, even though they communicate with the people in a gorgeous way. They can draw the attention of the people through words, but they are very short-tempered. It's a limitation. We are all subject to limitations. Regarding body, I am not talking about the individual soul which is residing inside the body. I am talking about the body limitations. Any body in this world is subject to limitations. We don't know certain things in this world. We may be knowing certain things almost about certain things. So we are all subject to limitations. But Lord Yama keep another word after this command. Na jayate, na mriyate. It is never subject to have a birth. It is never subject to have a death. Then this individual being have a beautiful feature, a unique feature, vipaschit, all-knowing entity. This individual soul is not an ordinary thing. This consciousness is an all-knowing entity. In other words, it's also called Sarvajnaha. In Sanskrit, Sarvam Janati iti Sarvajnaha. One who knows everything in the world. Remember, I will give you an example. To make a pot, the pot maker should have an idea about the width and length and belly and the mouth of a pot. What must be the capacity of the pot? What must be the shape of the mouth? Should be small, should be big? How much it should be believed? How should be its bottom? How should be its neck? This knowledge will be there for a pot maker. Then only he can involve in making a pot. Without knowing all these things, we can't make a pot. This knowledge is not enough. The pot maker should know the consistency of the mud. The pot maker should know which type of clay I should use. The pot maker should know where it will be available. The pot maker should know how I can make a pot with all other things involved, like a wheel, like a stick. Lot of things are involved in making a pot. Regarding a pot, how much knowledge a pot maker should have, from that you can extend for a creation of a universe, how much knowledge this all-knowing entity should be having. Just to make a pot, how much knowledge is involved? Give up pot, come to the sambar or some other medu vadai, whatever it may be. To make a sambar, even though YouTube, etc., are available, without an experienced master, you cannot make a delicious sambar. The ingredients are there, the vegetables are there, the consistency you have got from YouTube. Still, there are hidden factors to make a delicious sambar. So, how much knowledge is involved in making each and everything in the world? Suppose you are a good tailor. You know how to take the measurement of a skirt or a shirt, whatever it may be. How much knowledge is involved in which thread you have to stitch? How should be the neck? How should be the bottom? How should be the hip? How should be your below bottom of the hand? Everything you should have the idea. In one particular thing, that much ideas are involved. What to talk about the universe to create? How much knowledge is involved? Have you ever looked upon the beauty of a chicken? A crust on its head, some beard, flower, a beak, lot of different colors of feather, variety of colors. In one feather itself, somewhere it is green, somewhere it is black, somewhere it is brown, somewhere it is white. Who arranged all these things in a beautiful way of appearance? Lot of knowledge involved in constructing one feather. What to talk about the construction of the stars all around the world, the construction of this earth, the construction of the 5 elements. Now I will say one individual thing, the construction of body. 206 bones are being erupted in a proper manner. The bone is erupted and made a skeleton, and you put 2 lungs, 1 heart, intestine, eyes, ears, in an arranged way, and they are working together, just like a wall clock having lot of mechanism going behind. So the word Vipaschit, all-knowing entity, the creator itself become created. This formula is being explained very thoroughly from the beginning. The Vipaschit, the word Vipaschit, This individual soul is nothing but the creator, who is an all-knowing entity who is residing inside your body. Na jayate na mriyate vipaschit. I am not subject to birth. I am not subject to death. This should be your statement now. Not na jayate na mriyate. I am not subject to birth. I am not subject to death. The individual self which I am talking. So what about my body? Body is not you. It's just like you say, my shirt, my bike, my house, my specs, my nose ring, my earring, my bangles. Similarly, my body, there is an honor for the body. That is why it is called my body. I am not body. I body, we don't say. My body. There is a person separate from the body who is the witness of the all events occurring inside the body and outside the body. That person is being explained by Lord Death by giving a simple definition called Vipaschit. Vipaschit, all-knowing entity, which is never subject to death and birth. Whether my body is unconscious, whether my body is conscious, there is no role for this all-knowing entity. It is the limitation of the organs of body becoming unconscious and becoming conscious. When you are going to deep sleep, you are unconscious about the things going around you. But there is a witness. That is why when you wake up, I slept very happy. What a beautiful sleep. I am enjoying the happiness of sleep. There is a person witnessing your sleep. That is why when you wake up, it was so happy to sleep. We are talking about that individual, Vipaschit. Remember, we are not body. Body is an apparent reality on a thing, which is a superimposition on a real thing. Body is nothing but a superimposition on a base called Vipaschit. This all-knowing entity who have all knowledge regarding the things which are around me. I can say the whole universe. In order to create the universe, you should be equipped with all kinds of knowledge. That is being told by Vipaschit. But there is a question arise if you are a serious thinker. Okay, suppose I know certain things how to make, but I don't have the capacity. I am weak in construction. Then is there anybody will involved in making certain things around me? I mean, mere knowledge will not help for the construction or making of a thing. For example, I have the menu, I have a preparing chart of making the sambar. It doesn't bring a sambar right in front of me. I need to work on that. But I am not capable of working that much. I don't have enough strength, or I don't have some limitation in working. So maybe the Lord will be having all knowledge, all knowing entity. Still, there will be somebody to help for that. No. He is Sarvajnaha and Sarvashaktiman. We are going to deal that word afterwards. Sarvashaktiman. Shaktaha means power. All-knowing entity also, he have the tremendous capacity to make each and everything in the world. That we will deal, that word Sarva Shakti, we will deal next. Now we will go through the shloka. So Vipaschit means all-knowing entity. This individual soul which is residing inside the body is never subject to death and birth. What is a phenomenon for a body? And a body after the birth, it will start to grow. Jayate asti vardate. A modification will be going every second. Drinking milk, drinking coffee, eating rice, eating delicious food, paneer, butter, etc., etc. A man will grow. From a kid, he will become boy. From a girl, from a kid, she will become a child. Then she will grow to a teenager. Then she will go to a matured woman. Then she will become a household wife. And after that, an old person, and is subject to pass away from this world. A transformation going on continuously. Jayate asti vardate. Vardate. Getting lot of transformation, modifications. Viparinamate, becoming. We will enter into different stages of the life. Viparinamate. Then after a period of time, we are not having the same energy or capacity to enjoy the world as we were enjoying in the previous stage of our life. As a teenager, I am having lot of enthusiasm towards certain things. And I was enjoying with the affairs, with the food, with the hotels, with the clubs, with the drama, with the party. After a period of time, I lose all the interest on all these things. Not only losing the interest, my senses are not having the same capacity to go through the same experiences and the same things what I have enjoyed. Apakshiyate. Every senses, which is a blessing given by the Creator in this apparent reality, what we call body, is meant to go through the studies which will help me to come out of these bondages, to come out of this janana marana samsara, getting birth and death. After one body, again entering to another body, what we call samsara. A series of taking the bodies and coming to death and birth, and a cycle is going on. Really speaking, all these senses should be used purposefully. You cannot abuse your senses, taking them to a wrong side of the creation, You cannot abuse. Stomach is not meant to bury the dead animals. I mean, dead bodies of the animals. It's not meant for eating meat. Stomach is not meant to drink alcohol. It is a blessed organ, stomach. It's also called our second brain. What you eat, there it get digested and become your energy. So it's a second brain. This first brain, because of these primary actions. So our body is also a blessed thing, a tool which should be used in a proper way. Let it be there. We cannot divert. So Vipaschit, all-knowing entity, this individual soul who is residing inside the body. And it is been told in the second line, Nayam kutaschit na babuva kaschit. From this all-knowing entity, what we call this individual soul, will not give a birth for another thing. That means there is no modification. It is not a cause for another product, because when you say cause will evolve into product. A clay can be evolved into a pot. A gold can be involved into an ornament. A glass of milk can be transformed into curd. So here, Lord Yama says that this all-knowing entity is not subject to any modification. Keeping this sentence inside the mind, you listen the whole meaning. This all-knowing entity will not have the role of cause. This all-knowing entity is not an effect to come from a cause. Nayam kutaschit na babuva kaschit. From this individual soul, nothing will come outside as an effect. Once the effect is out, then this person will become a cause. A woman will not be called after giving a birth to a baby. Then she will become a mother. When there is no teenager for that, I don't say the teenager, that something is lost and something is came now. She is no more a kanya. She is a mother now. So any modification means a stage of our life has been ended, a new stage has been started. Similarly, if you give birth for something, you are the cause of that thing. And if you are an effect, then there is a cause behind you. This is neither cause nor effect. This all-knowing entity never get altered, never get modified, never get transformed. This is the meaning of the whole sentence. What is being told by Lord Yama. Nayam bhabuva, nayam kutaschit, naya na bhabuva kaschit. Never it is not a subject for an origination of something. Never it is an effect in this world. This is been told. Now, what's the time? Ajo nitya shashvatoyam puranaha. The third line, ajaha. In Sanskrit, in order to create the opposite word, you just add a in front of them. Satyam, truth. And you want untruth, asatyam. Tripti, satisfaction. Atripti, not satisfied. Just adding a for certain words, you will get the opposite word. Icha, anicca, because the E is a vowel. Because being vowel, we add an, not simply a. It's a rule of Sanskrit. I just want to make you understand how this word is formed. Ajaha, it's an opposite word of jaha. That which is subject to birth is called ja. It's been jayate ajaha, jaha. Then ajaha, that which is not subject to birth. So it is talking about me, about the listener. Listener is not subject to death and birth. Get the clarity of the word. We are not subject to death and birth, because all the bondages will come once you have a body. And all the bondages are connected to the body. All the responsibilities are connected to the body. All the kartavyam to be done are connected to the body. This word echoes, there is no such duties to a personality or a living being in this world if you come to know your intrinsic nature. Body is an incidental nature, an incidental phenomenon. But the intrinsic nature is ajaha, which is not subject to birth or death. It denies all our responsibilities. It denies all our papas. It denies all our punya. Because people get burned themselves, keeping the fire inside. It is my responsibility to get married with a good girl. Oh, my son is growing. It is my responsibility to keep my daughter getting married. I cannot, because Samaj kya bolenge, Parivar kya bolenge. What the society will say to me as a mother, what the society will tell me as a father. This itself brings lot of diseases for a person, Thinking about what society do. Society is most of the people are ignorant. And you are seeking the approval of the ignorant society, When you are more intelligent, you don't seek any approval from the society. Majority is always ignorant. This is how the creation is conducted, and the creation is running the whole show. So never seek the approval of society. Ajaha, the word says that this all-knowing entity, which is our individual self, which is our intrinsic nature, is never subject to death and birth. This consciousness, which can coordinate all the events occurred for the body before 10 years. Right now also, it can see what are the things going on. And after 10 years also, it can coordinate all 20 years, because this consciousness is not changing. This is an eternal entity. It is not subject to any transformation. It is not subject to death or birth. We are going to talk more about Ajaha, and we will see what Lord Death want to convey to Nachiketas in every word. It's a dynamite. Kaṭha Upaniṣad is a dynamite. That's why Swami Vivekananda told that among all the Upanishad, I love Kaṭha Upaniṣad because it's very simple and it conveys the whole message. It's not that all other Upanishads are irrelevant. This is one of the most beautiful Upanishads. In a simple way, the message is conveyed. We will go through that in the next class. Now we will enter into the Mrityunjaya mantra. I will do the Prajabhya Paripalayantaha Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahishaha Gobhramanebhya Shupamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Kale Varshatu Parjanyaha Prithvi Sasya Shadini Deshoyam Kshoparahitaha Brahmana Santu Nirbayaha Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma kaschat dukkha bhag bhavet asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya om purnamata purnamidam purnat purnamudachyate purnasya purnamataya purnameva vashishyate om shanti 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 हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम।
ओम।
नमस्ते
नमस्ते
everybody.